Good morning. It is 6 o'clock. Thanks for joining us here on THV 11 Morning News, streaming on your TV with THV 11 Plus. I'm Hayden Balgavy. Karen is off today, but meteorologist Tracy Bean is with us. She has issued a weather impact alert, and hopefully by now, Ashley King, who is here now, I-40 has cleared up around Brinkley.
That was a mess.
That was
oh
bad.
My goodness.
It was such a mess yesterday.
Yeah. But hopefully we'll have the same amount of volume as yesterday, which is not a lot. It just seems like people are...
Oh, the seniors are done.
Yeah, it's like that summer traffic.
Yes.
Or lack of, I guess.
Yeah. When we talk about people going back to school, it's a real deal with traffic. It makes a big difference. But hopefully, well, I should say hopefully, maybe some people in Saline County will actually get up and go to work today.
Right,
Because yesterday, I don't know where you all were, but you were on the roads.
I mean, it was great for the people that had to be out.
Exactly. So we need to find out what their weather schedule and work schedule is. So we'll talk a little bit more about that here in a second. But let's talk about weather. We do have a weather impact alert. Now, we will see those rush hour impacted this afternoon into the evening, and the kids getting off the bus possibly, and new drivers driving home. That is why we have issued that. But you can see off to our northwest that we are seeing some of those showers in that line begin to make its way into the state. That main line there still in Tulsa, but you see a lot of lightning associated with that. So watching that this morning, we have mainly got some cloudy skies out there and starting to see and feel. It looks muggy. That picture looks muggy, right? It is so muggy out there. We are seeing those temperatures right around, again, already the low to mid 70s. But look at that humidity, 90%. That's why that picture looks so muggy out there. We're going to see the winds pick up as well as we're heading into the afternoon. And again, the weather impact alert is for the strong to severe storms. That heavy rain during your evening rush is certainly possible. Be prepared for a slower commute. Make sure you talk to the kids, again, if they're getting off the bus and it arrives a little early, how they do when they get home. So again, just making sure people are safe. But here is what we are expecting for today. Not much change from yesterday, but again, just the fact that it's going to be around that rush hour, Ashley, that's why we've issued this weather impact alert. So we'll talk more about it and time it all out for you coming up.
All right, Tracy, I felt that mugginess when I opened the door to let my dogs out this morning. Oh, my goodness. But what a beautiful sunrise. This is Interstate 630. We're looking toward downtown Little Rock. You can see Arkansas Children's Hospital to your right. You can barely see the dome of the state capitol over the tree line there to your left. But yeah, just a gorgeous sunrise, and traffic is still very light around central Arkansas. As you can see, it's still in the green on our roads right now. We'll check this again in a few minutes to see how things are going.
Developing news this morning, police in San Diego are investigating a deadly shooting at an Islamic center that left 3 people dead. Investigators say this attack is being probed as a hate crime. Authorities say 2 teenage suspects were linked to the attack, including a shooting at the mosque and another incident just blocks away. Investigators later found the teenagers dead inside of a car. Now the FBI has joined the case. Leaders at the Islamic Center say all children and staff at the school on campus are safe. CBS News correspondent Gwen Baumgartner has more.
San Diego police arrived at the Islamic Center just before noon after receiving calls about an active shooter.
Maybe around 30 shots, that's what we heard.
Police found 3 deceased adults when they arrived, one of them a beloved security guard.
He was a nice person, having a smile with everybody.
As officers swept the center, which houses a mosque and school, children were rushed to safety under police escort.
I felt a bit scared. My legs were shaking.
At the same time, there were reports of more gunshots.
We received calls of a vehicle a couple blocks away that was shooting at a landscaper. The landscaper is going to be okay, but we are still investigating that scene. It appears he may have been shot in the helmet that deflected and saved his life.
Near the scene, the suspects, a 17 and 18-year-old male, were found dead in a vehicle from what authorities believe were self-inflicted gunshot wounds.
Law enforcement has yet to confirm a motive, but they have said that during their investigation, they found a connection between one of the suspected shooters and hate-related rhetoric.
2 hours before the shooting, the mother of one of the suspects reported him missing, fearing he was suicidal.
Several of her weapons were missing. Her vehicle was missing. Her son was with a companion. They were dressed in camo.
Law enforcement vehicles were spotted outside one of the suspects' homes. The FBI is asking the community for tips as investigators search for answers. Gwen Baumgartner, CBS News, San Diego.
San Diego Mayor Todd Gloria says more officers will be guarding places of worship to assure safety. Continuing coverage this morning, President Trump says a planned U.S. strike on Iran is now on hold as both sides signal possible movement toward a deal. The president says negotiations are continuing while the U.S. remains focused on stopping Iran from developing a nuclear weapon. Back here at home, a new CBS News poll shows growing concern about the economic impact of the conflict, with many Americans worried about rising costs and the effect on the U.S. economy.
This is a time in which you really want this conflict to be resolved, to move this behind, so that the economy can then start to recover. The stakes are high, and the Iranians really have this clock that they want to play out.
Meanwhile, more Americans say gas prices have become a hardship since the start of the war. Those spikes at the pump still having a major impact on drivers here in Arkansas as well. According to AAA, Arkansas drivers now paying an average of $4.06 a gallon for regular gas. That is up more than 49 cents in the past month and about $1.25 higher than it was this time last year. The national average is currently $4.53 a gallon. Energy experts warning prices could keep climbing as we head into the summer, with some forecasts putting the national average near $5 a gallon in the weeks ahead. President Trump is dropping his $10 billion lawsuit against the IRS over the leak of his tax returns. Trump and his two older sons filed that suit earlier this year after tax records from his first term were released. The Justice Department now says Trump will receive a formal apology, but no money as part of a new $1.7 billion fund created for Trump allies who claim they were unfairly investigated under the Biden administration. The case was dismissed with prejudice, meaning it cannot be filed again. A former IRS contractor has already been sentenced to prison for leaking those tax records linked to Trump and thousands of others. 3 Arkansas groups are now in a final push to get proposed amendments on the November ballot. According to the Arkansas Advocate, volunteers will spend the next 7 weeks collecting signatures at festivals, farmers markets, and events across the state before the July 3rd deadline to turn petitions into the Secretary of State. 2 of the measures would change rules for citizen-led ballot initiatives after supporters argued new state laws made the process harder to use. A 3rd proposal would expand early childhood education and increase support for students living in poverty, while a school choice group continues to oppose the plan. Check this out. Arkansas Children's Hospital is redefining what a visit looks like for families, unveiling a massive $371 million expansion built to improve care and the overall patient experience. The project brings a new main lobby and gallery, along with the Champions Pavilion, a state-of-the-art space dedicated to same-day outpatient surgeries. Hospital leaders say the goal is to separate care flows and reduce confusion for families while making the environment feel more welcoming and less clinical. The new spaces feature natural light, artwork, and areas designed for patients to move through with ease and comfort.
To create this environment where children can be in awe of where they are, that they find delight in watching the butterflies and see the light and the art, and not feel like it's a sterile, scary hospital.
The expansion also includes space for clinical research, giving children access to advanced therapies not available anywhere else in the state. Hospital officials say the work isn't done yet, though, with 2 more years of construction still ahead on the full project. Let's check back in with Tracy now, who has issued a weather impact alert for this afternoon.
Absolutely. This morning we're just seeing some partly cloudy skies, a beautiful sunrise out there, still seeing that southerly flow, all of that moisture, all of that warmth is still being funneled into the state, but that boundary is just outside of the state and around Tulsa, giving a lot of lightning and starting to see a few of that activities just to the very, very top of the state. Now we will see today mostly sunny skies and maybe a few clouds as we're heading into the late morning, and then we're going to start to see again those storms beginning to build into the afternoon, and that of course is why we have issued this weather impact alert, because this is right around the time, of course, people are getting out of school, the kids are heading home on the bus, new drivers, and of course you getting off of work. So making sure you are prepared, taking it slow. We are going to need to make sure we're giving a little extra time. Now tomorrow we could wake up to a few showers still as low pressure continues to move out of the state. It's going to give what we're calling that wraparound moisture, and that will give us a few showers, but not looking for any storms necessarily. So we'll take a look again at what to expect for the rest of the week into this holiday weekend coming up.